Good afternoon everyone, Mike here, making a video today about the Xpel wrap that I have on my car. So if you're watching this video for the first time and haven't seen my other ones, pretty much the entire Z06 that you see behind me here is wrapped in Xpel. And a lot of you guys had questions as to, how much does it cost, what does it do, and all that good stuff. So I figured that I would give a cool demonstration today. Now let's just talk about the material itself for a second, and I have a little sample here. Now typically a vinyl wrap is about 2 millimeters thick. This is a little bit of a different material to begin with, but it's also 8 millimeters thick. So it's really built for protection, and it's really built to take abuse. And you can see here the little sample that I have. We'll peel this up and try to give you a good idea here of the thickness, but it is a pretty thick material, and it also is very pliable. Now when you put it on here, you can see how when you do it properly, you don't see it at all. Just doing that little rub in there, and you can barely tell that it's there. Of course, on video, you can't really tell that the car's wrapped as it is. So what is the point of doing this? Well, obviously, like we said, number one is protection. This stuff can take abuse, and it keeps your paint looking nice underneath. So you can throw rocks at this, of course, and do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, and it can handle it. And that's one of the best things about it. Now, some people might say, well, why wouldn't you just, repaint your car? But there's two things with that. Number one, this is about the same price as painting your car, depending on what you do to it. And we'll talk about that in a second. But number two is that if you don't have your car protected, even if you do want to repaint it then, you still have to deal with, number one, repainting it. And number two is that once you do it, it's still going to look bad. And the entire time that you don't have it repainted, while you're waiting to get it repainted, you're going to have all these rock chips. So although it is about the same price as painting, and it's not the cheapest stuff in the world, let me tell you that. But it does keep it looking nice the entire time of the car. So in my mind, it's just a lot easier than trying to, repaint parts as you go. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's talk about cost for a second. What are you going to pay for something like this? Well, I did most of my car, and it really varies though. I can't even, you can't even really say what it's going to cost for you to do. What you can do though is go to Xpel, or go to their website. I think it's xpel.com, or just Google search it. You'll find it. And you can see the kits that they have on there. And you can see each kit, one kit might be the front fenders, one kit might be the bumper and headlights or something like that. And you can look at the kits on there and you can see how much it's going to cost you. So a front bumper, headlights, and a hood, probably like $1,500 or something like that. If you want to do your whole car, could be $5,000 or even more. So it really has a pretty wide range there. So now for the good stuff, let's go ahead and give a nice little demonstration. Now here we have a screwdriver. Now you would obviously never take a screwdriver to a brand new Z06, right? Unless, of course, you have Xpel. And you can see that I'm touching the car here, and I'm actually applying a little bit of pressure. Not a whole lot of pressure, but I am applying some pressure here. I mean, here, you can hear it hitting the paint and gliding it along. Now, I can tell you, although I'm not sitting here, jamming into it and like that, I can tell you for a fact that had I done that on a not protected surface, it absolutely would have scratched the paint. I can tell you that right away. So in my mind, Xpel is an awesome product because it provides peace of mind. And I know this kind of seems like an infomercial, but it's not. I'm not sponsored by Xpel. It's just an awesome product, and I really like it. To me, not only does it provide peace of mind, but it's just nice to have because there's a reason why pretty much these days, every single sports car, exotic car, high-end car like that has Xpel on it at least somewhere. And even dealerships now have, Xpel as an option you can get installed before you even take the car home. So it's a really cool product. It's awesome. Not only does it do the stuff with the rock chips and everything like that, you see I have most of my car covered, because what you want to do is look down the side profile of your car, and any part that sticks out is a part that's going to get rocks. So you can see I got these big fat tires on here. They throw rocks all the way down. So that's why I elected to have my fenders done, my rocker panels done, this portion of the door, and all the way back on the rear fender, because those are the parts that are going to take abuse. Obviously, your main areas here are the ones you should focus on the most. If you're trying to do this on a tighter budget, I would just do bumper and headlights and maybe a full hood, depending on how your car looks. But you can change it up. Now, like I said, not only does it take the abuse from stuff on the road, but like I demonstrated with the screwdriver, if somebody wants to be an asshole, it also protects from that as well. Now, if someone keys this, they can glide a key along here and provide a pretty good amount of pressure. They can apply, rather, a pretty good amount of pressure, and it will not go through this stuff. Now, if they really, go hard at it, it'll go through it. So it's not foolproof, this stuff. but it'll also help because the key won't glide along the paint. It gets caught up in the plastic. It makes it a lot harder, and it'll be way better than if they did it to just bare paint, obviously. So, you know, it's just a great product to have, and I wanted to give this demonstration to let you guys know what's up with it. But I am going to be doing a crazy wrap. I know some of you were like, I thought you were going to change the color. Believe me, we're going to do a crazy, absolutely nuts wrap for this for Supercars on State Street coming up on July. So anyway, with all that good stuff out of the way, let's go head over to the pickup truck and give a good demonstration of how hard you really have to abuse this stuff in order to break it. All right, so we're up in the bed of our truck here with our assortment of dickhead tools, and we're gonna put this little sample on this wheel well so you can see it's got some little scratches on there, but it's pretty clean, and we're gonna see what it really takes to get through this stuff. So now that we have the sample applied with air bubbles and all, which is why I don't do this for a living, but let's start with our key. And now I'm applying some real pressure here. You can listen. I mean, you can see that. Wow, that's actually more resilient than I thought. Look at this, really. And even then, like I said, it gets caught up in the plastic, so it makes it a lot harder to just glide your key across. I mean, you can really abuse this stuff. That's pretty crazy. That's some pretty hard pressure. Now let's take a little bit of a hammer to it. And of course our screwdriver. You can see what that same pressure just did to this. Here, this is a good example. I'm scratching my truck for all of you. Same amount of pressure is applied. The minute it gets to the paint, it scratches it. Up here, it's doing nothing. That's awesome. And then of course this thing, I don't even know what this is, but and you can see that's pretty much exactly what it looked like when we started with. Obviously down here, that one kind of went through, but that would rub out if you took rubbing compound of that, because it's not, yeah, that would actually rub out. But you can see here, even just the little overruns that we had, how bad it damaged the paint, and under here it's pretty much perfect. So that's a pretty good example of the abuse that this material can take. All right, so we are back here with the Z06, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that demonstration, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, take care, and have a great day.